Get ready for a wild ride at UFC 322 because this fight card may look incredible at first glance, but it's stirring up surprising feelings of disappointment in some fans. Why? Here's what you need to know, and the real story most people aren't talking about. Reporting from the sky over Washington, D.C., UFC President Dana White made waves by announcing 3 major matchups set for November 15th at New York City's iconic Madison Square Garden. The stakes? Huge. 5 current and former champions are involved, and the lineup promises drama, both inside the octagon and among fans online. Let's break it down. Zhang Weili, reigning strawweight champion, is making a bold move by leaving her belt behind to test herself at flyweight against the dominant Valentina Shevchenko. That's a co-main event you don't see every day. Will Zhang's daring maneuver shake up the landscape, or will Shevchenko's experience reign supreme? In the main event, Islam Makhachev, ranked number 2 pound for pound in ESPN's eyes, is jumping in weight and gunning for welterweight gold against champion Jack Della Maddalena. Remember, Makhachev already let go of his lightweight belt this year. Can he become a 2-division champion? As if that wasn't enough, former welterweight champ Leon Edwards is set to try and snap his 2-fight losing streak against knockout machine Carlos Prates, who's finished 11 of his last 12 opponents. A card this loaded should be a slam dunk for MSG, a venue steeped in fighting history. But here's where it gets controversial. Many fans still feel stung that the initial blockbuster, the legendary Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall, isn't happening. That was the dream fight, and in all honesty, nothing on this card matches the sheer hype that would have generated. Jones, widely regarded as MMA's GOAT, retiring just as a showdown with a dangerous contender like Aspinall seemed possible, left a gaping hole that this mega card can't quite fill. Sure, Jones' decision to walk away may have made business sense. Why risk his legacy and fortune? Oh, but let's not pretend it didn't leave fans wanting more. The UFC deserves props for responding with a stellar replacement event, but as electrifying as Zhang versus Shevchenko and Makhachev versus Della Maddalena are, they're still not Jones versus Aspinall. Now the debate deepens. Is it right for champions to surrender their belts when they move to a different weight class? Most would say yes, it keeps the division alive. But here's the part most people miss. The creation of interim titles can actually solve the problem. If a champion like Makhachev or Zhang went up in weight but kept their original belt, the UFC could introduce an interim title so the division keeps moving and fighters still get paid. Hypothetically, if Makhachev moved up, lost, and came back, he could unify belts with whoever claimed the interim crown. This happened with Alexander Volkanovski, who attempted to capture a second title, then returned to unify his featherweight belt after coming up short. Would it really seem right for someone like Makhachev to return as a challenger rather than the king waiting for his throne? Maybe not. So is the rule even fair? Time for some predictions. Should Zhang and Makhachev actually be considered favorites over title holders Shevchenko and Della Maddalena? Many would say absolutely. Shevchenko, although one of the sport's legends, is now 37 and while still successful, hasn't looked as untouchable as in years past. Zhang, just a year younger, appears fresher and perhaps less worn down by the grind of a lifetime in martial arts. Keep in mind, Shevchenko's recent wins capitalized on clear weaknesses in her opponents, weaknesses Zhang may not have. As for the men's headliner, Makhachev's record is so impressive you would be hard-pressed to go against him, even in a higher weight class. He probably won't be meaningfully smaller than Della Maddalena by fight night, and his elite grappling could neutralize any size issues. Still, dismissing Della Maddalena outright would be a mistake. This could easily be a toss-up once the cage door closes. Here's your chance to weigh in. Do you believe this card lives up to the hype? Or is Jon Jones' absence an unforgivable letdown? Should the UFC force champions to vacate titles when changing divisions? Or does that just complicate things for fighters and fans alike? And in these super fights, are the challengers actually the superior athletes, or will experience and history triumph? Take a stand in the comments. Let's hear your takes, and don't hold back if you disagree.